You're watching Canadian Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. From Toronto, Ontario, this is Saamiyah Syed. Welcome back to the show. Joining us very shortly is Brother Salim Spindari on Aspire's Toastmasters program and other services in British Columbia. But first, let's take a look at some headlines. Freedom Convoy 2.0 February plans undecided. Illegally detained man dies in Quebec jail. Islamic Society of Markham New Muslim event. UN seeks International Criminal Court opinion on Israel's illegal settlements. And now the details. Organizers of the Freedom Convoy 2.0 are in conflict over whether or not events planned for this February in Winnipeg and Ottawa will go ahead. James Botter, core organizer of last year's protest in Ottawa, has said on Facebook that he is canceling Freedom Convoy 2.0 for unidentified security reasons. Others, especially those planning events in Winnipeg, say the protest will proceed next month. Botter and several supporters are facing charges for their participation in last year's protest. They are blocked because of bail conditions from returning to Ottawa. Quebec's Ministry of Public Security has confirmed that Nicolas Dondre Spring, a 21-year-old Montreal man who died in jail on Christmas Eve, was illegally detained in the facility. According to the ministry, Dondre was to be released a day earlier. While he was illegally detained for a reason not known yet, he got into a physical altercation and lost consciousness. He was taken to the hospital where he passed away on Christmas Day. Following the incident, a correctional officer and an administrator have been temporarily relieved from their duties. The ministry has announced an administrative investigation into the incident, including the illegal detention of Dondre. The Islamic Society of Markham in Ontario is launching a program for new Muslims. Its aim is to gather together new Muslims in Markham so they can meet each other. The program will also share resources and services for new Muslims. One of these programs is a free dinner in February for new Muslims at their center. There will be a question and answer segment with guest speakers and imams. According to its website, the Islamic Society of Markham aims to, quote, help Muslims in the town of Markham carry out Islamic activities in pursuance of Islam as a complete way of life. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation has welcomed the passage of a UN General Assembly resolution seeking the International Court of Justice's opinion on Israel's occupation of Palestine. In a statement, the Pan-Muslim group hailed the stances of the countries that back the resolution, which supports the Palestinian cause. Early on Saturday, the UN General Assembly passed a resolution seeking the top justice court's opinion on the legal consequences of Israel's illegal occupation of Palestinian territories. The resolution was backed by 87 countries of the United Nations General Assembly members against 26, with 53 abstentions. Under international law, all Jewish settlements in the occupied territories are considered illegal. And that's it for the news. Now, on this show, we've had the pleasure of learning about programs all across the country. No matter how small and local or how big, these programs make up a backbone in their communities. One initiative in British Columbia is doing just that with Aspire, their Toastmasters Club, and other services such as their food bank and mental health services. Joining us now to tell us more is Brother Salim Spindari, the manager of Muslim Food Bank and Community Services Society. Welcome, Brother Salim, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Sister Saamiyah, for having me.
Alaikum assalam. Brother Salim, tell me about Aspire's Toastmasters Club. How did it all start?
The Toastmaster Club is a partnership with Toastmasters International. What we do, we invite members of the community to come to learn more about public speaking and to build their leadership skills. With these two components, members of the community, specifically youth, would be able to be active members of the community, to be able to utilize and get the confidence to publicly speak, and at the same time to encourage them to build their leadership skills to be leaders within the community.
And from what I understand, this is an online program and it is free?
It is free, and we encourage participation from people all across the country. It's offered online, although it's based here in BC, but we will welcome participants from other places as well.
Okay, that's great. And how many people do you think, give or take, are involved right now in the program?
The number fluctuates, but we have really steady participation from members. It starts from 15 and more for each of the sessions. And space is, there is more space if people are interested in attending. Right now it runs once a week on Tuesdays. And if anyone is interested in learning more about it or to participate or get more information, I encourage them to visit our website, muslimfoodbank.com, to learn more about the session and to register to attend its sessions.
And what are some of the feedback that you have received from people who go into these Toastmaster sessions?
Some of the feedback that we've been receiving is that people are telling us that it builds their confidence to speak in public. And as you know, it's not an easy thing to do, especially in front of crowds. And it tells us that it encourages them to become leaders within the community and to participate more in activities and events throughout the community. And at the same time, it gives them the confidence to show their identity and to publicly speak about issues that are of interest to them.
Now, Toastmasters is just one of the many services that Aspire provides. Can you tell us more about those other services?
Yeah, as at the Muslim Food Bank and Community Services Society, we started with focusing on distributing food to participants, but at the same time, the Aspire component is the Community Services department of the organization. And with it, we have a unique program called the case management program, in which we provide training to members of the community to learn how to support vulnerable members of the community or new arrivals. And we do have our counseling program. Our counseling program focuses on providing trauma-informed services to members of the community who are in need, especially those who are coming from war-torn countries, or people who are having challenges due to their settling into a new community and a culture. Our counseling services are offered by trained counselors who are licensed to practice in BC and throughout the country. And as you know, our program is based in BC, but we do have counselors who are in other regions as well. We do offer the service to Muslims and community members throughout the country in Canada. We focus on making sure that the services that offered are offered from the lens of an Islamic lens. Our counselors are Muslims. They have the background. They speak various languages. Currently, the languages that our counselors speak include Arabic, Kurdish, Farsi, Urdu, and Dari, of course, in addition to English as well.
You mentioned two different services here. You mentioned the counseling services, but also if I was a concerned community member who wanted to learn how to respond to these crises, I can go and sign up for some sessions. For that latter one, how do you sign up and what exactly does it entail?
Yeah, we have actually our upcoming session is on January 7, 8, and 9. With a 3-day training, we offer people information around how to work with vulnerable members of the community, We train them on trauma-informed practices and how to maintain confidentiality and privacy of individuals, and how to better connect community members to different services that are available within the community. The volunteer caseworkers who are trained would be supervised by a licensed social worker, and they will work closely with senior caseworkers who would be able to support them to better support vulnerable members of the community. So it's not counseling in particular, but it's more case management. And again, for us, with all of our practices, we follow the Islamic faith, and our Islamic faith basically direct us to support our vulnerable brothers and sisters from the community. And the support is provided to make sure that they become self-reliant, whether it's in the short term or in the long term. We don't have any specific duration for how long community members can access services. We support them basically based on their needs until they become self-sufficient or self-reliant.
And what are some of those common grievances or needs that you are hearing from people in the community?
Yeah, one, people really need to be connected to their community members, especially those who come with no extended family members with them. People need to want to get connected to different services that are available. Housing is a big issue. Financial need and financial crisis is something else. And of course, employment. Employment is another major need that has been identified by members of the community. And alhamdulillah, through our program, we have been able to allocate a dedicated senior caseworker who would assist community members in finding employment. We've also seen a huge need for people to learn more about financial literacy, with a focus on how to make sure that any dealings that they have with financial institutions, taking into consideration the different needs based on our faith, whether the use of RRSPs or to opening bank accounts or investment, or how to build their credit history in Canada. So alhamdulillah, we've been able to provide all these services to members of the community.
Mm-hmm. Now, very quickly, we don't have too much time, but in the spirit of the new year, what comes next? What programs or initiatives or even expansions are you planning for the organization?
Alhamdulillah, our organization has been able to open new offices in Saskatoon, in Manitoba, in Ontario, and we really aspire to reach to Muslims throughout the country. Our community services are offered based on the needs of the community. We look into the trends and emerging issues that we see, and our programs continue to expand based on it. We do have a Women Inside project, focusing more on supporting women from the Muslim community to be able to take on the projects that they of interest to them within the community, and inshallah.
And we'd love to stay tuned and hear more about that initiative. Thank you so much, Brother Salim, for joining us today and sharing more about the programs that you are running, and all the best with the future ones.
Thank you very much, and Jazakallah for the good work that you do. Let's stay connected, and please, I encourage you to visit our website at muslimfoodbank.com. Jazakallah, and thank you.
You are watching Canadian Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. That's it from our Toronto studios tonight. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more Canadian Muslim content. Stay safe, and until next time.